Yeah, the biggest bull case for the ETFs has been is the unlocking of RIAs in 2025, and that's something I was talking about 6-7 months ago, even. Now there's like think about it as there's more than three tiers, but like I think about it three tiers, almost like red, yellow, green. Red light is I don't care what you're doing on our platform, you cannot touch a Bitcoin ETF or any of these ETFs. Then a lot of ETFs are in this middle ground where it's like if the client specifically asks to buy a Bitcoin ETF, you can do it for them. Or if you clients like certain levels of wealth and risk ability to take risks and desire to take risks, they have a certain amount of assets with us, then you can buy some of the Bitcoin ETFs for them. And this is called solicited versus unsolicited. So if you come to me, I'm your RA, you ask for it, then I can do it. But I can't be like, I think you should put 2% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. The final level is when it's solicited, and I can basically solicit to you and say, I think you should put this in your portfolio. Right now, the vast majority of the assets are in that middle ground. Either, or actually a lot of them are still red.
And the vast majority is independent RIAs versus wirehouse, because independent, obviously you have more flexibility, but it also comes with that liability of now if you're deciding where someone's, because most people don't understand, like we could get into a deep conversation, but most people don't even understand that most RIAs, they're not even the ones making the decision at the end of the day. They're aggregators. They're bringing the funds in. That's all they're doing. And then you have the people at top, they're actually coming up with the models, and they just apply the models to those funds or to those assets.
Yeah, it all comes back. So the independent RIAs, the ones you were just talking about, they were the early adopters. The Bitcoin ETFs came out. They don't have to wait for a due diligence team of like a bunch of people sitting in New York where you're wasting to figure out whether you can buy this. Usually it can take 2 to 3 years before an ETF gets approved. You're an independent RIA. You can just buy for your clients what you think is viable as long as you can defend it for whatever you're doing. So they're the early adopters. But again, there's still trillions of dollars of assets in those wirehouses, in those wealth platforms you were talking about that are either at the red or yellow level. And we're seeing an unlocking of more people going up that ladder towards allowing things to be approved for buying of the end investors. And I think that's the biggest unlocking potential for the Bitcoin ETFs. And we've seen a lot of flows coming in these ETFs. And I think when we get the 13F report from June 30th, which we'll get in August, we'll see a lot more RIAs that have come online and buying this for their clients.